everyone, and welcome to another tutorial. So today I am going to show you how to make this really cool badger bracelet, and this was designed by the Looming Corner on Instagram. I will bring up his profile here in just a second, but I first wanted to give you guys a little glimpse of this beautiful bracelet. So it is pretty complicated to do, but it is really nice once you do finish it. So here is the Looming Corner's Instagram, so it's _looming_corner. I will have his name in the description box below. Make sure to check him out there on Instagram if you have one, and give him a follow for me. He creates a lot of cool designs and a lot of original designs, and does some really cool renditions by other people. I've done tutorials for him in the past, and I'm going to try and do some for him in the future because his designs are really cool, and so is his account. So again, I will make sure to have his name in the description box below, so make sure to check him out on Instagram and give him a follow for me. So to make this bracelet, I would recommend having 2 hooks or a double-ended hook. But if you don't, you just have to be really careful because the bands do get pretty tight, and it is a little bit hard to discern which bands are which. So let's go ahead and get started. What you're going to do first is you're going to want 3 colors, just probably for your first time so you don't get super confused. I'll go ahead and go along with these colors as I make the bracelet. So first thing we're going to do is be placing this pink medieval bands, or the pink medieval bands. I'm using burgundy for this. So taking your first band, you're just going to simply cap it on your hook. And then you're going to take another burgundy band and just pull it onto that cap end. So just really simple here first. Then what you're going to do is take a burgundy band. You're going to pull through just the first loop onto your hook. Then you're going to pull this loop back on and then close this. Just be careful when you do that, because if you pull on this band from either side, it will come out. So just make sure that you have it secured with your finger or something like that so that it doesn't slip around. You're going to take one more burgundy band. Okay, you're going to put it on your hook. You're going to pull through the first 2 loops. And then by now this burgundy band that was loose should be secured. You're going to take the outside loop, or the one farthest from your hook, and put it back on, and then reattach. Should look something like this now. Then what you're going to do is take this light blue sweets here. I have 2 blue sweets, but you're going to take this one for the outside, and I am using fuchsia for that. You're going to want 2 of them. The first one you're going to take, and you're going to pull through just those first 2 bands, the first 2 loops on. Then you're going to pull it back off, so pull it back onto your hook really, and then you're going to take this, and if you do that, just go ahead and redo that. Make sure you hold on to this end, and then grab this and pull it over the end of your hook, and then reattach the end that you were holding. So it should look like this now. Take one more fuchsia band, put it on your hook, and you're going to pull through these first 3 loops. Then you're going to pull all 3 of them back on. Then you're going to grab this fuchsia band just like we did before and lift it over the hook and let it go. And then reattach. Now you should have 2 fuchsia loops and 2 brown loops here close to each other, and then you should have 2 of these brown loops, and make sure that they are in order here. And then you should have 1 out here. So now what you're going to do is take the dark blue band, which is hard to see in this bracelet, and it doesn't show up super much on camera, but what you're going to do is take that color, I'm using neon green, and you're going to pull it through the first 4 loops here. Then you're going to make sure that this is in order here. Just so you know, in order means that this loop that is closest to your hook here should be the same loop that is underneath of my finger out here. You're going to pull on this loop here, and then you're going to lift the first 3. And then once it looks like this, you're going to rearrange. So take those 3 loops and bring it back over the green, so now it should look like this. And this is what you should have on your hook so far. So we have to do that exact same process on the other side before we can do anything else. So I'm going to transfer hooks because I do not have a double-ended hook yet. So I'm going to just transfer it, make sure that my bands stay in the same order here. And then what we're going to do is take 2 more of our burgundy bands here, and drop one off to the side, and you're going to pull through this burgundy band through this one, this first one from your cap band, and then you're going to pull it back on to the hook. Just be careful not to lose this other burgundy band. And then what you're going to do is take the next one, and you're going to pull it through the first 2 loops, and then lift the one farthest from your hook and reattach. Then what you're going to do is take 2 fuchsia bands, take your first one, you're going to pull it through these 2 loops only, then you're going to pull those 2 loops back on, hold on to your fuchsia band here, and you're going to lift that over the end of your hook, and then just reattach this one. Take your second fuchsia band, put it on your hook, you're going to pull through these first 3 loops here, and then hold on to that fuchsia band, pull those 3 loops back on, grab this band and pull it over the end of your hook, and then reattach that band. So now you have something like this, so 2 fuchsia bands and 4 brown bands all on the hook. Again, making sure that these bands are in order. I'm just going to go ahead and separate this brown one with my finger. What you're going to do is take your neon green band and you're going to pull it through the first 5 loops, so these first 4 here that are tight and close together, and then this other brown loop here. Then once you do that, what you're going to go ahead and do is kind of try and move these bands out of the way. I have some bands that are overlapping, but you're going to grab the first 3 loops and put it back on your hook. Then you're going to rearrange, so take all those fuchsia bands and the one brown, so both fuchsia, one brown. You're going to pull it to the outside of the green, and it is pretty tight and kind of hard to do that. So yeah, once you have all of that, it should look like this. And now what you're going to go ahead and do is get 2 more of these light blue bands, which are the same colors out here, which is fuchsia. So I'm going to get 2 more of those. And what you're going to do is first take this brown band over here, going to cross it over the other brown band. You're going to just separate it like so. And then I just like to hold this over here so that they don't slip back. You're going to take your first fuchsia band and you're going to pull it through everything on this half and make sure that you keep that band crossed and pull it over. But then what we have to do is we only want these 2 that are closest to our hook, so we're going to grab this one green loop, then you're going to grab, oops, lost my bands here, so you're going to grab this green loop and the brown loop that is kind of lost in here, and it's right here. So grab the green loop, the brown loop, and the 2 fuchsia loops that are there. Put it back on your hook and rearrange. Oops. Make sure that you have this fuchsia band here in the center. You can rearrange it later if you really want to, but I think it's a lot easier to rearrange while it's on your hook, because you can see how difficult it is now. It's going to be even more difficult once you finish this section. So just do that, and then once you have that, go ahead and turn it around on your hook. So we have to do the same thing to the other side. So sticking your hook through everything and pulling it back through. Taking your second fuchsia band, you're going to put it on your hook, and now pull everything through on this half, including this one brown band, which is also kind of hard to get onto your hook. And then you're going to lift all 4, or the 4 first bands that are farthest away from your hook. And now you should have something like this. It's going to look a little bit crowded, but you can rearrange it after you've finished. So then what you're going to do is take one of your pink medieval bands in this bracelet, mine's burgundy, and you're going to pull through, oops, all of the bands on your hook, just onto one band, and reattach. So this is one section. You can arrange these however you like, just kind of pull them apart and do all that fun stuff. So, and then you have to do the rest of the sections. Mine took 10 total sections, and I had to add a couple of extender things, and that's what you have to do. So I'm going to go ahead and show you another time or two so that you can get it. And this is a really complicated bracelet, so if you don't get it on the first time, don't get frustrated. I didn't get it on the first try either. It's a pretty difficult bracelet to master the first time, so yeah, starting with your next layer, what you're going to do is take 2 of your brown bands, and just like we did before in the other bracelet, we're going to act like this band on the hook is this band that comes out of the cap band. It's just going to be a bit tighter here. So you're going to take your first band, you're going to pull through the first brown loop, and then reattach it back on the hook, and then take your second brown loop, pull through the first 2 bands, and then reattach the one farthest from your hook back on. Then what you're going to do is take 2 of your fuchsia bands here. Your first one is going to go through the first 2 bands, then pull them back on, and then lift over. Reattach. So now it should look like this. You're going to take your next fuchsia band, and you're going to pull through the first 3 loops, and then pull that back on, all 3 loops back on, lift it over, and reattach. So now it should look like this. Take one last band for this part, neon green. You're going to pull through the first 5 loops here. Just be aware which 5 loops you pull through. Then you're going to lift these first 3, reattach, and then you have to organize these bands. Okay, so just pull them off to the side. Then we're going to turn this around on your hook, or you can slide it to the other end if you have a double-ended hook. You're going to repeat the same thing on this side. So taking 2 brown bands, take your first one, pull through just that one loop, then reattach. Be careful of this band. Then take your second one, pull through the first 2 loops, then lift the one farthest from your hook and reattach. Then take 2 fuchsia bands, pull through those 2, and pull them back on. Then pull that fuchsia band over the end of your hook and reattach. Take this fuchsia band, the second one, and pull it through the first 3, pull them back on, pull that over the hook, and reattach. So then after you've done that, take your next band, my neon green, and pull through the first 5. So the first 4 should be easy, and then the 5th one you kind of have to decide which one it is. But it shouldn't be too hard if you keep your bands in order. You're then going to pull through the first 3 loops back onto your hook, and then rearrange these bands. And once you have done that, now it's time to get to a bit more of the complicated steps here. It's difficult for sure. So what you're going to do is, if you turned your hook around the same amount as I did, you're just going to be grabbing the same band and crossing it over. But if you didn't, you're just going to want to make sure that this brown band here is crossing over the same direction as this one will be in the next section. So just go ahead and cross them over. It's a bit hard to do with opaque bands, but it's also hard to get your dual layer band straight, so it's kind of like a pick which one you want to do. So anyway, once you have those bands crossed, you're going to take 2 more of your fuchsia. You're going to take the first one, and you're going to pull it through everything on this half. Okay, and then pull through that one. And remember, we only want these first 2, so we're going to lift these 4. So the brown, the 2 fuchsias, and the green. Then rearrange it so it now looks like this. You're going to turn it back around on your hook, and do the same thing to the other side. So take the fuchsia, pull it through everything on this half. Make sure you don't pull that other fuchsia on though from the other side. Then you're going to lift the 4 bands farthest from your hook, and then rearrange. So now it should look like this. You can rearrange all your bands. Take one last burgundy band, pull through everything on your hook, and reattach. So I'm going to show you one more time how to do this, and then after that I'll show you how to finish this off. And you're obviously going to pause the video and make this the length you need it, but I'm going to show you one more time just so that you can kind of get the sequences down. So taking your 2 burgundy bands, put it on your hook, and pull through just that first burgundy band, and then reattach the first one. Take your second band, pull through those first two, and then back on the first one, or the one farthest from your hook, and take your two fuchsia, grab the first one, pull through the first two loops, and then back on, lift it over the end of your hook, and reattach. Then take the next band and pull it through the first three, pull those three back on your hook. Make sure that when you lift it over that it doesn't do that. You don't want to lift any other bands over. You're going to lift this band over the end of your hook and reattach. Then what you're going to do is take a green band, and pull it through the first 5 loops, and then lift the first 3, and then reorganize your bands. And then you're going to swap to the other hook, and then take 2 more burgundy bands, pull through the first 2 and then back the first one, and your next one, pull through the first 2 and the farthest one from your hook goes back on. Then take 2 fuchsia bands, pull through the first 2, pull back the first one, lift that over, reattach. Then this side, pull through the first 2, then back the first 3, pull through the first 3 and then pull those same 3 back onto the hook, and then lift it over. Take a green band, pull through the first 5 loops, and lift the first 3, or the 3 farthest from your hook. And you're going to rearrange these bands. And grab some of these, rearrange them. Okay. So then once you're done with that, you can go ahead and take this burgundy band here and cross it over, and then pull those bands into their correct positions. And then you're going to take 2 fuchsia. I'm going to pull this one through everything on this side and that band. Then you're going to lift, I'm going to get this on the screen, lift the first 4 loops and reattach the fuchsia. Then rearrange all of those bands and swap to the other side here. Make sure that you are grabbing all of these bands. And then what you're going to do is kind of just rearrange these because they got twisted together. Then you're going to grab this band, pull through everything on this half. Don't pull those fuchsia through. Then you're going to lift the first 4 loops and reorganize your bands. Last thing you're going to do is take a burgundy band and pull through everything onto that one. So for finishing this off, all you have to do is attach a C-clip to this band, or you can take another band and just pull it through, whichever you like to do. And then you're going to make this the length that you want it, finish it off, and that's all you have to do. So I guess that's a lot of steps. If you still need help, you can rewind. But that's all I'm going to have for this video, so thank you for watching. Make sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe. I'll have the Looming Corner's name in the description box below. Make sure to check him out on Instagram and give him a follow for me. That's all I'm going to have for this video, so I hope to see you next time.